Good morning. It looked like that back camera was a little cloudy. Good morning, good morning. Good morning, replay viewers and web viewers and live viewers. I'm outside again today. Hey, Rhonda. Hey, Mom. I saw a bunch of names. Hey, Michelle. How's the puppy? Is he sleeping through the night yet? You made it live! My timing has been so late. I've been trying to get up a little earlier. He's so good. He's a puppy. The puppy, Charlie the puppy. Michelle got a black lab puppy. Good morning. Good morning, good morning. Hey, the puppy only got up once last night. Yay. That's pretty good, actually. Oh, yeah, I totally understand, Rhonda. Technology is sometimes a bitch. Oh, my gosh. Is my signal bouncing in and out? Am I freezing up or anything? I don't have a stitch of makeup on. I also haven't had coffee, so I don't know what kind of quality work you're going to get out of me today. Ladies' Cooking Day. What's a ladies' cooking day? Yes, the signal's spotty, Cynthia. Hi, is it Nadra? Oh, because I ran out of coffee creamer. Okay. I ran out of coffee creamer, and I can't stand black coffee. Oh, darn it, Cynthia, I'm sorry. Maybe it'll hold steady as we keep going. I'm going to go to Starbucks. Hi, Nadra. Oh, gosh, hold on just a second. Whoa, hold on just a second. I dropped my little money mala on the floor. Okay. I can't get comfortable. I'm out of milk, too. I let myself run out of everything, which is super annoying because I went to the store last night. I could have picked up some coffee mate. But this gives me an excuse to go to Starbucks. Because I have to go into town for cat shelves. Hey, Tanya. Today's our Course in Miracles day. I do not have a business card with me, looks like. Well, it's still a bummer. I want you to have all good things in the world, including a steady signal. I know. It is one of those awful trade-off things, Rhonda. Hold on, guys. I'm just looking for a business card. I may not have one. That's okay. My name's Michelle Wolf. For new people, Tanya, they have a flat white is my favorite drink if I'm going to get something besides just drip coffee, which is really my favorite. But they have a flat white right now with spices infused in it. And flat whites are like steamed milk, but they don't have any sugar in them. But because when you steam milk, it tastes a little sweet, it's nice. And they put a bunch of cinnamon and nutmeg. Oh, so delicious. Anyway, for new people, every other day we cover A Course in Miracles and the Law of Divine Compensation. And then on alternate days, we're studying the Tao Te Ching, 2 different translations, and Byron Katie. So today's A Course in Miracles Day. My name is Michelle Wolf. You can find me at caddyshackdesigns.com. I do desire map workshops and one-on-one coaching, cat home design. Yeah, Caddyshack Design. That's how it's spelled. I'm going to be redesigning our house because the addition of the 5th cat means we need to create some cat highways. So I'll probably scope that later today or tomorrow. Reiki, all kinds of stuff. The website has tabs across the top. I'm a portrait artist, jack of all trades, multi-potentialite, I think is the popular word for it. Okay. I know we've read this before, but I think it's a good reminder. For me, I do it all, except I cannot look at a room and get ideas about decorating. My husband has to do that. I can see where I need to put shelves and cat stuff, but I can't see where to put the couch or how to hang the pictures. That stuff is just beyond me. So in A Course in Miracles, in the big book, if you're following along, I wanted to read to you from chapter 29 in the text. Chapter 29. Because it's important. It's important to me, so I'm going to offer it to you again, even though we've already talked about it. So people who attend regularly know that I've really been holding my feet to the fire using a process where every time you feel something uncomfortable, you grab onto it, amplify it, and sit with it until it dissipates on its own, and then you take your power back from the situation, and you reclaim your power. And then what follows is relief, and things start to shift in the world. Well, last night I was doing that, and or all day yesterday, even though I intended to take a day off, because I've started this snowball rolling, it didn't quit. So I was getting triggered, and I was trying to ignore it all day because I really just didn't want to deal with it. But by the end of the day, I gave up and just dove into the feelings, which is kind of ridiculous, right? I know that if I dive into the feelings, I'm going to feel better. Right. It's illogical. I know that if I dive into my uncomfortable or outright painful feelings, I'm going to feel better on the other side of it. And yet, even knowing that and being practiced at it, I spent most of yesterday avoiding it. And then when I dove in and did it, it took about an hour of a lot of intense emotion, and I got through it. I put it off all day. I even tried to eat ice cream and kind of numb out and ignore it, and that didn't work. It didn't work. That is like my go-to. It's like my food Xanax. I don't take Xanax, but because food works. The paradoxes of life. Yes. The things we trick ourselves with. So what I came to is, again, how do I amplify it? Think about it a lot. I lean into it. Yes, that's a perfect way to put it. I lean into it. I stop what I'm doing. I close my eyes. I get still, and I lean into it, and then I say, "Tell me more." What else? What else? I say that a lot in my work with clients. Is what else? Because when you ask that question, what else, and wait, typically some more stuff will come out. So I was, triggered a lot around business things and prosperity things yesterday. And when I was working with it, I got really mad about things, and I got to a point, and then I got upset, and I was emotional all day anyway. And Sarah said, I think somebody said there's planetary stuff going on. I can't keep track of all that, but I could believe it. It's been a rough week. So section 29, chapter 7 is that chapter on seek not outside yourself. So what happened is I have a habit of looking outside myself and measuring against its comparison. And then comparison triggers completely irrational fears about the not enoughness we can stumble across in life, like deprivation stuff. Like there's just not enough. That is always going to happen when you seek outside yourself for success or peace or love or whatever it is you're looking for. The first verse says, "Seek not outside yourself, for it will fail." Let's call it planetary. Yeah. I think it could be planetary, but I think it's also, I believe in the collective unconscious. And if I grow, you grow. If you grow, I grow. And we have a lot of people who are intensely growing, which is carrying us all along. So we're not having to do all this work by ourselves. You doing your work and me doing my work uplifts us all. It adds momentum, it adds power to the process. Seeking outside will fail, and you will weep each time an idol falls. Heaven cannot be found where it is not, and there can be no peace excepting there. Each idol that you worship when God calls will never answer in his place. There is no other answer you can substitute and find the happiness his answer brings. Seek not outside yourself. All your pain comes from a futile search for what you want, insisting where it must be found. And then when you don't find it, you're pissed or sad or disappointed. Hi, Linda. However, the good news is, be glad that you are told where happiness abides, and seek no longer elsewhere. Hey, lady. You will fail, however you know the truth. It's been given to you. And you can use that truth to stop it. Stop it. Just stop seeking outside yourself. Stop comparing your progress to others. Okay, drive carefully. Stop thinking that if you get, someone else loses, or that if they get, you lose. If someone else's business increases, your business doesn't then decrease. It's ridiculous. There's enough. There's more than enough. There's so much that we can never use it all. How can you say there's a limit on love, and love, there's enough pie for everybody? So if that person eats a piece of pie, there is still the same amount of pie for me and everybody else. There's enough for everyone. But deprivation has been a theme, in sometimes in my life, and sometimes in other people's lives, as is related to resources. So like I even worry about water. Like I have a thing about water. It's going to sound ridiculous. But when I used to backpack and hike a lot by myself, and go camping by myself and stuff, I double, triple took care of my water. I didn't care if I ran out of food, but I didn't want to, well, I did care if I ran out of food. But I was paranoid about running out of water. So I always hiked in places where there was lots of water. If I camped, I made sure I was near a water source, like a natural water source. And I carried a filter and extra water and iodine tablets in case my filter broke. Yeah, well, yeah. But it's a weird thing. Maybe it's a parallel life. I don't know. But now we are on this property, and I'm using our water situation as a way to challenge that sense of deprivation. I really don't believe in my bones that the universe is unlimited. I know I'm supposed to believe that. I know that there's evidence of that. But in my bones, in my animal self, I don't believe it. I believe we're going to run out. It's irrational, and it's something I'm working on. So I'm constantly going back to this concept of stop looking outside. There's enough, but the only place to find enough is at home. I know it, but I don't feel it. Yeah, I don't feel it in my bones. I don't feel it at the core of my being that there really is enough to go around. So we're on natural spring water. It's an underground spring. Don't worry, it's been tested, and we filter it. I think we probably should test it every 6 months, but it's been tested. It's fine, and it's actually delicious. But it's we don't know where it's coming from, right? So we would have to hire a geologist to figure out exactly where this spring is coming from. This spring has run full speed as long as anybody around here can remember. So at a minimum, 15 years, we have first-hand or second-hand knowledge from the people who live here. It's free. It's free, and it's delicious, and it has no chlorine in it, so it's not chemicalized. If you leave a glass of water on your nightstand, you can wake up in the morning and drink it, and it doesn't taste funny. It tastes exactly the same. So this water runs all the time. And yet I have this fear in the back of my head that it's going to run out. That I should be conserving water like in an unnecessary way. I have backup water, or I will have when I go buy some more, because I get freaked out if something happens. So what happened was, during the flooding stuff, we weren't sure, since we don't know where our water starts, we weren't sure if all the flooding was pushing anything into the water wherever the source is. So during flooding, you can get runoff, and you don't know where the runoff's coming from, and you don't know what it's going through. So we didn't feel like we should be drinking the water without boiling it. And usually I have a few gallons of backup water, and I didn't. And I was like, oh my God, we're going to run out of water. Oh my gosh, we're going to run out of water. And then I was like, oh, I still have my filter. I can still use my camping filter to filter the water. And I calm myself down. But that water's unlimited. Water is unlimited. For me, I mean, in a worldwide sense, yes, we're dealing with water issues. But that spring is not going to run out. And if that spring runs out in my lifetime, I have water access. I have access to bottled water. We could drill a well. I don't want to drill a well because the well water out here is terrible. It's got too many minerals in it. It turns your laundry pink. Too much iron. It's the same with money. It's the same with clients. It's the same with love. If you feel like there's not enough love and you cling on to the people in your life, or if you feel like there's not enough money and you grasp on too tightly to your finances, if you feel like there's not enough food and you eat too much, whatever it is, if you feel like there's not enough scrapbooking paper and you buy tons of it and hoard it, whatever it is. I mean, there may be an area in your life where you can find some kind of grasping behavior, some kind of grasping thought process where you're holding on tightly because you're afraid it's going to run out. You grasp onto it because you're afraid there's not enough and you better hang on to what you've got. That's a real fundamental block for prosperity. Prosperity of any kind. You must not believe there's not enough sugar, Tanya. You better eat that sugar. You better get some extra chocolate at the store today. Seek not outside yourself. We're told that looking outside ourselves is never going to get us what we want. You better eat as much as possible, right? That's why I can't eat half a thing of ice cream. I have to eat the whole thing, because what if I wake up in the morning and there's an apocalypse and there's no more Haagen-Dazs? What if my two best friends, Ben and Jerry, go away? What if they move? I would be devastated. So I better suck up. The key out of this is forgiveness. Of Course in Miracles says it all the time. Forgiveness for yourself, forgiveness for others, forgiveness for your crazy running out of water thoughts, forgiveness for numbing behaviors, trying to numb your emotions. It's such an unhealthy thing to do. Forgiveness for grasping and hoarding, and once again looking outside of yourself and comparing yourself to others. That's a deeply destructive thing to do. It hurts. It's painful. The more you can pull back from that, and the more you can catch yourself when you're doing it, and the more when you catch yourself doing it, you actually stop and deal with it instead of running around and avoiding it all day, it's more effective to just stop and deal with it as soon as you see it. And you deal with it by looking at your story. And you say, why are you thinking there's no water, Michelle? There's plenty of water. That water has run for 15 years. It's not going to run out. If it does run out, there's other places to get water. You're not going to run out of water. And then you dive into the feeling of the deprivation, the grasping, the hungry ghost kind of feeling where you just feel like you just can't get satisfied. You can't get enough of whatever it is you're after. That's the process of it. And then you remember that your power is when you're connected to love. When you're connected to love, that's where your power is. It's the only place your power is. And so when you're feeling powerless and victimized and at the mercy of whatever, you are only looking in the wrong direction. You've just forgotten, and you've turned around and looked outside yourself for validation or things that satisfy you. And it has to disappoint you, because there is no other way. It's built that way. It's not personally defying you. It's not personally saying everybody else can have things but you can't. It's just that's the nature of the universe. That's the nature of it all. That's the law of it. It's universal law, and you can't change that. You can keep trying, but you can't change it. It will continue to do what it does, regardless of whatever efforts you make to hold on to it. And we know that when we hold on, things get pulled out of our hands and pulled out of our lives, whether we want them to or not. Letting go increases things coming in, and it is a paradox. We have to let go to feel the increase. Yes, they're not trying to make us mad. They're just being freaking sticky, noisy little toddlers. I love them, but boy, they are sticky. It's like you get them out of the bathtub, they move through the air, and somehow become sticky. Even when they haven't touched anything. They're sticky. Why is that? Sweet little toddlers. They're so gross. They're just like constant bodily fluid of some kind. Okay. So where we left off in this Law of Divine Compensation book was in chapter 2, The Power of Faith. The power of faith for me is understanding that every time I dive into that emotion, I'm going to come out in a good place. And I'm never going to feel it that intensely again. I may feel it again and again and again, but each time it's a little less. It's a little more manageable. It's a little more, it's also shorter. Every time my husband shut the door, he doesn't believe in any of this stuff at all. I'm sure he's just like, ew. Yuck. Drooled on his little head. So we get in our way when we choose fearful thoughts, like there's not enough, like I'm going to run out. We choose fear when we let that grasping, soap, stat, duh, you got to de-drool the puppy. Your faith in love, though, doesn't determine love's power. It does determine whether or not you will experience the power. So that's about where we left off. Because I know we read that part already. You can't turn off the light, but you can put your hands in front of your eyes and then complain that the room is dark. That's what I did all day yesterday. I ignored the work I needed to do, and then I complained that I didn't feel good. Duh. The universe is infinitely and eternally lit with the light of love and new possibility. You can have faith in that and experience miracles, or you can have faith in the world outside yourself and experience lack. Hi, Roseanne. Experience lack and scarcity without end. So this section, seek not outside yourself, she's talking about this again right here. We can have faith in the infinite abundance, or we can have faith in the universal stuff. Don't be sorry, you're fine. I'm sure you're here exactly at the right moment. We're just starting on this book, Roseanne. And everything I read before was related to this anyway. And then I was just rambling on about my own personal process in true narcissistic fashion. Okay, so previously she had lost the $10,000, and she did recoup the $10,000 that she lost. And while she can't say, so she says, while I certainly can't say I never made another financial error, I never forgot the lesson my father taught me that night, that I could absorb the loss. Hi, Amelia. Whatever you've lost, you tell yourself, I can absorb the loss because there is infinite resources. So whatever has been lost will come back to you if you continue to look in here instead of out there. If you continue to tell yourself the story about infinite resources as opposed to oh my God, I'm going to run out. So I better hang on. Whether through cases where I've made mistakes or where someone else made mistakes that affected me, I've learned that the products of fear don't permanently stand. So however you bind yourself up in fear, when you let go, it undoes itself. People leave or they change. Situations dissolve or they improve, or something new comes along, or what you have gets better. It repairs itself. The universe is self-correcting. Just like our bodies, if we give them time to heal, they generally can heal themselves with a little support. You are a tiny universe right here in the micro. But these tiny micro systems are reflective and exactly the same as the macro larger system. It's exactly the same. Each of us chooses how we will think about what happens in our lives, and to look on a situation with faith in miracles is to look through the eyes of and with the power of God. When we look at things falling apart and go, okay, I'm going to handle my emotions, whatever that is, and then I'm going to believe in miracles, and I'm going to ask for that miracle of a change in perception. And I'm going to ask, help me see this differently. And I'm going to ask, change me into someone who has patience with life. Change me into someone who understands and knows that resources are infinite and that I don't have to grab on. If you remember that, I'm going to say when you remember that you are a spiritual being, that God alone, love alone, is the source of your power, and that the universe is inherently designed to provide for your needs, then you are thinking in a miracle-minded way. That is how you open to miracles, is you remember you're spiritual. You remember love is your only source of power. And the universe is working for your benefit. You are exercising dominion over the mortal plane by remembering that you are not of it. We're in it, but we're not of it. That's the thing about being in the world, but not of it. You will just happen to be seated next to someone who's looking to hire a person with your skill set. You will just happen to think up some fabulous new project and attain funding. You will just happen to receive a check in the mail from someone who's owed you money for years and never repaid you until now. Why? Because there is a realm of infinite creativity that exists beyond mortal mind, yet within the mind of Source. This is not fantasy. It feels like fantasy. Sometimes I feel like maybe I'm just crazy. Maybe all this is just bunk. And I'm kidding myself. And really what I need to do is go get 3 jobs and do it the traditional way. And then I wake up and go, what? That's crazy pants. That's the crazy talk. This is not fantasy. And you know that because you've seen it happen in your life before. If you choose not to believe it, it's your choice. If you choose to believe it, it's your miracle. That is your miracle. The universe is programmed to manifest through you the highest possibilities for your creativity and joy, and that never, ever changes. In God's mind, you are never too old. You are never inadequate. You are not your resume or your failures. In God's mind, there is no mistake that you are not given opportunity to correct. That is a really important concept to get. If you make a mistake, you'll get a chance to correct it. You'll get another opportunity. Anything anyone did to you will be compensated. There's nothing that anyone did to you that cannot be compensated for when you forgive and move on. You have to forgive and move on from it. Release it. And then it self-corrects. You don't have to do anything but handle your own side of it. You don't have to do anything but... Why is he yelling like that? Can you hear him? He's like singing a song. He's singing the song of his people to us. Let me sing you the song of my people. Meow. Nothing about your material circumstances. He's so sweet. He is a real sweetie. Nothing about your material circumstances has the power to stop the engine of cosmic intention that you be blessed. It is your birthright to be blessed. It is not something that you can deny. Let's say you can deny it. It's not something you can make go away. You can deny it all you want, but it's still there. It's stubborn like that. You are blessed eternally, which means moment after moment after moment. Even when you screw up, you're still blessed. Love doesn't say, well, you really fucked it up this time, so that's it. You're out of chances, and you're not, go sit in the corner and think about the bad thing you did. And then when you are, then maybe I'll give it to you. It's not like that. That's a human concept. In any instant, regardless of what has happened in the past, the universe has arranged and is continuing to arrange infinite possibilities for you to prosper. If you cannot see this now, so here's where she's going to hold the faith for us. If you cannot see this now, if despair and anxiety hang like a veil before your eyes, preventing you from mustering any faith in God at all, then in this moment, lean on mine. One mind joined with another, regardless of their position in time or space, can remove whatever chains would bind us and deliver us to that sweet realm where things come full circle and there's always a chance to begin again. Lean on each other. If I don't have faith, I'll lean on your faith. If you don't have faith, lean on my faith. It's available to you. Yeah. So I'm going to read that whole chapter again. And then I have to go get coffee, or my head might explode. So whatever's going on right now, so let's just treat this chapter as our prayer for the day. Whatever's happening right now, hold it in mind. And if you can, if you're in a space where you can do so, and you want to, let the emotions come if you'd like to. And I'll just hold that space for emotional release if you need that and want it. And just turn some Reiki on and hold a space here. And then I'm going to read this chapter. And if you have emotions, welcome them and let them process through. And if you think you can't, I know you can, so you can lean on that. And Source knows you can. And there are other people here who know you can. So let's go with that. Actually, I'm going to back up and read the last 2 chapters. And I promise you that it's true. The universe is programmed to manifest through you the highest possibilities for your creativity and joy. It truly is. And that never, ever changes. In God's mind, you are never too old. In God's mind, you are never inadequate or incompetent. In God's mind, you are not your resume. You are not your bank account. You are not your credit card debt. You are not your failures. In God's mind, there is no mistake, and you are not given the opportunity to correct. I'm sorry. There is no mistake that you are not given the opportunity to correct. There is nothing anyone did to you that cannot be compensated for when you forgive yourself first, and then move on. Yourself and then them, and then move on. And if you can't forgive today, if you can be willing to forgive, that alone will start the process, just the willingness. Nothing about your material circumstances has the power to stop the engine of cosmic intention that you be blessed. It is the universe intention that you be blessed. It's the law that you be blessed. It is a law as true as gravity. If you step out into space, you will fall. If you step out into faith, you will be uplifted. You will be uplifted. You are blessed eternally, which means moment after moment after moment. In any instant, regardless of what has happened in the past, regardless of what's gone on, any mistake that you've made or someone has made to you, the universe has arranged and is continuing to arrange infinite possibilities for you to prosper, for you to be found by money, by love, by peace. If you cannot see this now, if despair and anxiety hang like a veil before your eyes, preventing you from mustering any faith in love or the universe or God at all, then in this moment lean on mine. One mind joined with another, as we do here every day, regardless of their position in time or space. This is true for replay viewers. This is true for people on the web. We know we're impacting each other even though we all live in different parts of the country and some of us in different parts of the world. We're in different time zones. We're in different bodies. But we've joined our mind together. And that uplifts us all in a very powerful way. By doing so, that can remove whatever chains would bind us and deliver us to that sweet, sweet realm where things come full circle and there's always a chance to begin again. Every day, every hour is another chance to start again. The prayer inside this, I'm going to read this and then I'll stop. Dear God, or Divine Beloved, whatever you want to call it, I surrender to you who I am, what I have, and what I do. May my life and talents be used in whatever way serves you best. I surrender to you my failures and any pain still in my heart. I surrender to you my successes and the hopes that they contain. May the light of your love shine deep within my heart, our hearts, and extend through me, through us, to bless the world. Let's extend that connection to love out from ourselves, out to everyone we encounter today, out to every living thing, out to everyone around us, whether they're physically around us or mentally around us. Extending love from out there, bringing it in and out again. Out and in, out and in, out and in. Amen. That's a good one. That's a good prayer. I like that. When we're connected, we're so much bigger than our small fears about water and money and love and not enoughness. It all just goes away. It all just disappears when we're in that powerful, connected feeling. I really like that one a lot. Yeah, me too. I really like that quite a bit. Yeah. Oh, take a deep breath. So whatever you're struggling with today, just hand it over. Just hand it over. Just feel the feels. Let the feels come and go. And even though it feels like, and I say this from daily personal experience, even though it feels like they're never going to go away, they do. And then they come back. And then they go away. And then they come back. And that's how it is. And that's how it's always going to be. I'm going to leave the Reiki on for a while, because I can certainly use that energy too. I'm just looking down. Hand that shit over. How many more times do we have to ask? New anxiety. Letting it go. Let it go. I don't know the Frozen song, the Disney movie Frozen song, enough to sing it to you, but it's out there, and it is pretty cute. How many more times do we have to tell you to just drop that shit? Would you just drop it already? Let it go, let it go. Something along those lines. I'm sure when the toddlers are older, we'll be watching plenty of those movies. Yeah, right? We just had the same thought. I'll know all those songs. So, drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. I can sing that one to you. Drop it like it's hot. Little Snoop Dogg to wrap up the day. Oh, lovely, Linda. I'm so looking forward to it. That's Juna yodeling like that, right? Who doesn't love him some Snoop Dogg? He's just a sweet little pothead. Right? Ashlyn can already bust a diaper move. So. So funny. Alright, I gotta go into town. I gotta get cat shelves. I gotta figure out how to scope that for people who... Yeah, she can swing that diaper butt. What are you yelling about, buddy? What's the matter with you? I'm going to scope that cat redesign of our room so that people who have cats can get some ideas. But I got to figure out how to make our bedroom a little more presentable. Yeah, he's singing his own. Oh, I see what's going on. Hey! Knock that off. Quit. He and Tonka are chasing each other around. So naughty. Oh. One just took a flying leap for something and missed. What's the matter with you two? Quit it. Damn kids. Stop. What is going on with you? Knock it off. Stop it. Don't make me pull his car over. They might as well be. Thank you. Yeah, I'm going to go get... Stop. I'm serious. I'm going to put you in a timeout. I'm not even kidding. Don't make me separate you two. I don't know why they're so grumpy. Maybe they're feeling the same stress we all are. They've all been grumpy. We've had a house full of grumpy cats. They're all grumpy with each other. Oh, I will so put him in a timeout. I will so do it. Maybe so. So be kind to yourself. Be easy with yourself. Feel your feels and hold them. And have compassion for those parts of yourself that are just so scared. On the 11th, it's pretty close. Those little parts of ourselves get so scared. And yelling at them doesn't work. Self-hug. Alright, I love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow is back to the doubting. Thank you. I'm so glad you were being able to that your signal got steady enough that you could stay on, Cynthia. It's nice to have you here. Thank you, everybody. I love you so much. Tomorrow's the Dowdaging and Byron Katie. So I'll see you sometime tomorrow before noon. Have a lovely day. And soak up that Reiki. Thank you. I'm going to leave that Reiki going for a while. Oh, yes, I will do an oil scope this afternoon. If there's something particular you want, send me a note on Twitter or Facebook. If there's a particular oil you'd like me to cover. I'll do one later this afternoon, probably not till 4 or 5 Eastern. Okay, much love.